Hello everybody, Caden here today with another episode of WildLife Park. And today we are on the world adding in the second and, well, final exhibit to the Arctic Center building type thing we started an episode or two ago. And that is penguins, puffins, and that kind of stuff. So I'm just gonna preface it now. I mentioned it in the tour, but yeah, I know probably some of these animals are not meant to be together, and I'm not even sure one of the penguins I added in is actually from Antarctica. In fact, I believe it may be from either South America or South Africa. So yeah. Anyway, I just decided to throw it in because I only have like 2 penguins available from the mods, and I didn't want to go get another mod just for one animal. But anyway. Since the last episode of us working on this area, I've actually upgraded the building quite a bit. I've added in new staircases. You guys can see I added in a proper roof for the build, and yeah, it's starting to look a lot better. This penguin exhibit was actually going to be a lot larger. Originally, it was going to be just absolutely massive, but then I realized there were some issues with that, such as not being able to connect the pathway into the building, which proved to be somewhat problematic. But anyway, turns out really cool in my opinion. I think we got a really interesting build out here. And I think the actual exhibit itself is a definite improvement over the polar bear one. I think the polar bear one is, it still needs improvement. I'll see if I can get around to it, but like I'll mention again in the tour, we are strapped for time to a degree when it comes to just finishing stuff off in the park. Like, I've got to, what is it right now I've got to do? I've got to finish all the decorations across the entire zoo. I've got to finish up a couple of exhibits that need repairs, and upgrades like the snow leopards and I think 1 or 2 other animals. And yeah, and then we've also got to plan out the last couple of exhibits, which I think there's 4 more exhibits we're doing, which is kind of weird to say, but yeah. It's kind of crazy the amount of work we've got left to do, but yeah, it's been very fun. I do show off in a bit, well, I guess in the tour, some of the stuff I've been working on. I think the park, again, is really starting to come together. It's looking really awesome in my opinion. And I'm very happy with how it's come together. It's been a lot of fun. But anyway, I should probably talk about the exhibit I'm actually building. So I decided to go with this quarter circle, I guess, quarter cylinder type exhibit, just because I thought that would look a bit cooler and we could do a bit more interesting stuff with the rocks. I made the exhibit quite deep to allow for the penguins to have a lot of room to swim, although I've realized, I think, once I actually spawned the penguins in, they don't seem to want to swim, which was a bit like, oh, okay, that's a bit annoying, but it's fine. We went with the same kind of Arctic rock style we went for with the polar bears, and I think it looks really good overall. I quite like the look of the, I don't know, it's got a really interesting look to it, and something obviously we can't do in every exhibit, so I've quite enjoyed working with this kind of style for these 2 builds. It's been a lot of fun. But yeah, actually, a real big difference between this exhibit and the last one is I don't do an underwater viewing area for this build, mostly just because, I don't know, I felt like putting 2 underwater viewing areas right next to each other just kind of was a bit boring, although people really want me to build an aquarium, and that's all underwater viewing areas, but, you know, whatever. But yeah, it's kind of funny. Sometimes when I'm building these exhibits, I'm like, or when I'm doing these time-lapse voiceovers, I'm always kind of like, well, not always, but sometimes I'm like, you know, there isn't really that much to talk about. It's just, you know, here's me building an exhibit, you know, we're just kind of doing the same stuff we usually do when we build indoor exhibits. Although, I think this one's a bit different from the normal indoor exhibit we usually build. I've really also, actually, if I can mention this real quick, I've really enjoyed the style I've gone for with, the interiors, using these, a lot of cobblestone, spruce logs, dark oak, and the white concrete. I feel like it really does give it a really nice, chilly kind of feel, a very alpine kind of feel, and I rather like that. I think it's quite nice. I think this bit of the time-lapse might not be the greatest, but I threw in the same kind of roof we threw in over the polar bears, so that kind of cross-beam section thing with the powdered glass things for roof grates. Basically, the same thing I've been building for the past couple of weeks with the polar bear exhibit, and then the raptor house, and the reptile house, and the hippo house, and all the kind of buildings we've been doing lately on the channel. But, I mean, I guess it's just because it's a good style and it works well. I did throw in the same kind of fans. I wasn't able to get a really big fan in this build just because a lot of space constraints in all honesty. I threw in the same kind of rock textures we did last time, and yeah. In fact, I think the only difference is I put a bit more grass in this, a bit more grass and stone in this. Oh, I didn't throw in that many, I don't think I threw in much stone or cobblestone into the actual build itself. But again, I think this looks really good overall. I'm really happy with it. Yeah, and I'm just gonna let the rest of the time lapse play out because I've run out of things to say. So I'll catch up with you guys in the exhibit tour. Alright everyone, here we are with the final build, and actually, well, since last episode, or that wasn't last episode, it was an episode or two ago, and we actually started this little Arctic Center. I actually spent a good deal of time improving the building, and I'm actually going to show off a bit today of just some of the stuff I've been doing because, well, we don't have many episodes left and I have to finish this whole zoo, and it's kind of an insane amount of work I'm having to do. But yeah, I've been working a lot on this Arctic Center. It looks a lot better, at least from above, than it used to. It kind of looks like an actual building now. But anyway, one thing I'd quickly like to show off before we go and look at the actual penguins is the fact that I made this tunnel coming all the way from the bears, right over here, down this little staircase, and bada bing, bada boom, penguins. So we walk in here, we got some plants, we got our penguins and puffins, and I am sure, what is it, these little rock penguins, I feel like I'm pretty positive they're not, you know, Antarctic penguins, and I'm sure someone's going to mention that to me, and yes, I also know, where are my puffins? Where did the puffins go? Oh no, did they die? Please tell me they didn't die, that's sad. I also know the puffins don't live in the same area, because I believe puffins are the North Pole, I believe, because I know they're in Alaska, because I saw them there. Anyway, I really need to do more research into the animals before we place them in, but I really like this exhibit overall. I think it's very cool looking. I think it is definitely the better version of this build. I think this build's still good, but I think we definitely did a lot better with this one. I think it looks cooler. And yeah, I'm very, very happy with it overall. Also, I should quickly show this off. I did change up a bit of this area, namely in the fact that there's now a staircase over here that takes you from the second floor all the way back down to the first floor. Yeah, I'm not really sure why I decided to throw that in. I think it was more just because I didn't really know how I was gonna do a second floor for this, and I didn't really want to, so I didn't. But yeah, that's that. That's our Arctic Center. Let me know what you guys think of it. But yeah, that's it's kind of crazy. Like that's all done now. Yeah, I want to show off a couple of other things, I guess. If you guys saw the live streams, you've already seen all this area has been finished up, but I spent a bit of extra time working over in this area. And as you guys can see, like we have this nice new walkway over here. A bit of work has gone into that area. And yeah, I have to say the zoo's all coming together quite well, and I think we're gonna have a really good final build, which, speaking of which, I think it's sometime around the 18th, you guys will probably get a world download for this, so if you guys are looking forward to that, let me know. But anyway, I think that's all I really have to talk about today, so yeah. Let me know what you guys think of the penguin exhibit in the comments down below, and yeah, thank you all for watching, hope you've all enjoyed, and until next time guys, see ya.